Welcome to the final episode of our Bitcoin Masterclass with Bitcoin Magazine Pro. And today we're going to be looking at the macroeconomic and external influences on the Bitcoin price action. Now, it'd be all great if we could just look at Bitcoin data and gain a 100% clear understanding of what price action is likely to do. Now, looking at on-chain data and the technical factors, derivative, miner, putting all of these pieces together, it can paint a very clear picture. But ultimately, we need to acknowledge that Bitcoin is very heavily influenced by external policies. If we look at the correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P 500, we can see it's incredibly strongly positively correlated, meaning that as one moves up, the other typically moves up, and as one moves down, they usually both move down. So it's very important that we're seeing the things that influence the S&P 500 and other equity markets are also taken into consideration because they strongly influence the Bitcoin price action as well. And one of the major things that is influencing Bitcoin is monetary policy. If we look at the Federal Reserve balance sheet, we can see periods of quantitative tightening where we see the balance sheet contracting and actually reducing the amount of assets it's holding. Once this is reducing, then it gives us some insight that maybe we're not in the most favorable macroeconomic conditions. This usually aligns with some more limited upside potential periods of price action for Bitcoin. And on the other side of that, once we see huge spikes to the upside in the Federal Reserve balance sheet, this usually means that Bitcoin's going to have a good time. This is quantitative easing. And if we scroll down here, we can see that this usually coincides with more positive, bullish risk on, not just sentiment across Bitcoin markets, but across all markets as well. Now, this is very heavily influenced by the amount of money that's in circulation. We can see that this is the global M2 money supply, one of the most important metrics when it comes to analyzing the Bitcoin market, because of course, looking at the things influencing the S&P 500 and the US economy is very important. This is the world's biggest superpower, but Bitcoin isn't limited to US investors. It's a global asset. And if we take into consideration the circulating money supply, not just in the US, but the global M2 money supply, we can see the influence that this has on the Bitcoin price is unmatched. This is one of the most important metrics to be taken into consideration. But I think a lot of people aren't doing it correctly. This is a very popular chart, very popular metric, and one that I see shared across social media very, very frequently. But I think more importantly than just looking at the rate of M2 expansion, which is usually on an upward trajectory, if we look at it on a year-on-year basis, it really paints a clearer picture for the rate of acceleration of expansion or deceleration of contraction for global M2 money supplies. And we can see this has coincided almost perfectly with big expansion periods or big brutal bear markets for the Bitcoin price action, this black line here, which is the BTC year-on-year returns. But we also have to acknowledge that Bitcoin is an evolving asset, not just in terms of the software itself, bringing out new upgrades and new use cases, that the underlying philosophy and purpose of Bitcoin may be changing. We're becoming more of a store of value asset and more of an institutional asset. And here we can look at the ETF cumulative flows. One of the most important developments over the past few years was the launch of the Bitcoin ETFs, which is allowing some of the biggest institutions and largest, deepest pocket, high net worth individuals to accumulate Bitcoin like never before. And we can see, if we just look over the past year or so, as Bitcoin has had rapid periods of price acceleration, it's been fueled by huge capital inflows from these ETFs buyers. And same is true for the downside. Once this started actually turning over, once we saw more and more outflows from these ETFs, from these institutional accumulators, or in this instance, distributors, then it coincided, actually predicted the upcoming downward move in the Bitcoin price action. Same again for the most recent move away from the most recent all-time high. So it's definitely a metric I'd take into consideration, one that I'd track quite closely. And one thing I'd also like to mention is if you are a site subscriber, not only can you have a CSV data download so you can gain access to a huge amount of Bitcoin Magazine Pro's metrics, raw data to do your own analysis, to do your own tweaks, create your own value charts. If you go up here to the API button we have here, you're actually able to gain access to the Bitcoin Magazine Pro API. And again, this is available at a fraction of the standard industry price. So you can actually gain a direct network plugin so you can use all of these metrics in whatever way you want to. But taking it a step further than that is if we look at the US dollar strength index, the DXY, this is looking at the relative purchasing power of the US dollar compared to a basket of other fiat currencies. And what we can see is there is an inverse correlation here, meaning that as the US dollar strength index rises, indicating that the US dollar is increasing in terms of its purchasing power, this is when Bitcoin typically struggles. But the opposite is true. Once the US dollar strength index again diminishes, loses relative purchasing power, usually because we're seeing more printing, more inflation, more loose stimulus in terms of US monetary policy, this is when more risk-on sentiment enters markets and Bitcoin usually rallies to the upside. But again, similar to the global M2 year on year, is if we look at this through a slightly different lens, which is something I don't see many people doing, looking at the US dollar strength index on a year basis, again, gives some really invaluable insights to see not just the US dollar strength on a macro basis, but to see its rate of change. And this has been one of the most accurate metrics for actually analyzing the Bitcoin price action. And again, looking at this inverse correlation to be a precursor for favorable macroeconomic conditions and upcoming positive and bullish price action for Bitcoin. But alongside the institutional influence and the macroeconomic factors changing the Bitcoin landscape, we also need to take into consideration that Bitcoin has been massively influenced by treasury companies. These are companies rapidly accumulating Bitcoin. And what we can see is they're growing more and more popular. If we look at the hodl board here, we can see the top 20 Bitcoin treasury companies are holding nearly 1 million Bitcoin, which is a monumental effort. And if we look at the top public Bitcoin treasury companies, then we can see there's over 100 treasury companies in the world actively looking to add Bitcoin to their balance sheets, which again is changing the supply and demand economics of the network, because we're looking at 1 million Bitcoin that has been accumulated that likely isn't going to be sold for an extended period of time. And again, just from a pure supply and demand economics perspective, any asset that can have $100 billion of capital flow into it is likely something that people are very bullish and positive on going forward. They hold now over 5% of the circulating supply. And we do have to take into consideration that strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, is one of the biggest influences on this. And if you come to Bitcoin Magazine Pro, keeping in mind that all of this treasury data is entirely free, you can gain some of the most in-depth insights into strategies company analytics that you can anywhere in the world. You can see all of the influencing data and all the important metrics to take into consideration if you're looking to expand your investing portfolio to not just look at spot Bitcoin, but potentially looking at treasury companies like MSTR. We can see all of the market cap and Bitcoin holdings value of MSTR. And one of the most important metrics, alongside looking at the acquisitions and real-time profit and loss and the average accumulation price, the cost basis of MSTR, is if we scroll down here, look to the premium to Bitcoin net asset value. So what this is looking at is the MSTR, the strategy market cap in relation to its Bitcoin's holdings. Now, if this is beneath a value of 1, it essentially indicates that you can buy $1 of Bitcoin for less than $1. As I film this, it's somewhere around 80 cents that you can buy $1 worth of Bitcoin exposure when looking at the amount of Bitcoin that MSTR are holding for less than $1. So it seems like a little bit of a no-brainer. And one thing you have to take into consideration is even if you're looking to expand into the altcoin market, if you're looking to buy other cryptocurrency assets, if you're looking to buy treasury companies, the Bitcoin dominance throughout the space is unmatched. Bitcoin, in terms of the cryptocurrency market dominance, is somewhere around 60 to 70%, indicating that even if you're looking at altcoins for more volatility and potential other opportunities, they're very, very heavily influenced by Bitcoin. And ultimately, the truth is, all of them have underperformed Bitcoin over a multi-cycle basis. But if you're looking at treasury companies as well, of course, they're going to be influenced by their own internal changes and structure and share dilution, that type of thing, and underlying company performance. But realistically, if you hold 672,000 Bitcoin, it's likely that the underlying Bitcoin price action is going to change your share price as well. So regardless of whether you're looking at altcoins, treasury companies, Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining stocks, Bitcoin ETFs, anything that you're looking towards within the industry, Bitcoin Magazine Pro and the data we provide have you covered. For me, the biggest outperformance from Bitcoin Magazine Pro isn't just in monetary outperformance in terms of providing data that is unavailable anywhere else, that can provide unmatched clarity for your Bitcoin investments and analysis. It's the time saved by utilizing the charts we have here and the alerts, so that you only need to look at a few metrics every few days or every week or so. Whatever your thesis is, whether you're looking to actively trade in the market, whether you're looking to be a little bit more of a backseat investor, dollar cost averager, or you're just trying to understand Bitcoin a little bit more in depth and the health of the network, then I think Bitcoin Magazine Pro could be for you.